The world has built illusions so beautiful that we have mistaken them for truth. There was a time when men could look upon the sky and see mystery, not machinery. They could gaze at the stars and feel that something greater than themselves watched back. But as time moved, as the age of convenience and information unfolded, humanity began to trade its sense of wonder for the comfort of explanation. We began to think we knew, and in that knowing, we stopped seeking. The truth became too heavy to carry, so we made lighter versions of it. Versions that pleased us, versions that didn't disturb our sleep, versions that could be packaged, sold, and praised. You have been fooled, and the greatest tragedy is not that someone deceived you, but that you willingly embraced the lie because it felt safer than the truth. Every age has its own blindness, and ours is the belief that we see everything. You have been taught to measure your worth by the eyes of strangers, to crave applause more than peace. The mirror no longer reflects your face, but the fragments of what the world told you to become. You scroll through illusions, call them connection, and drown in noise that pretends to be meaning. Every notification becomes a whisper of validation, every trend a signal that you belong. Yet deep within you, there is a stillness, ignored but not dead, that asks, is this all there is? You silence it with distractions, feed it with digital crumbs, and convince yourself you are full. But the hunger returns sharper, emptier, colder. You are surrounded by mirrors that reflect nothing of your soul, and yet you believe the reflection is real. You have been fooled. The foolery began when truth was replaced by opinion, when feeling became greater than fact, and when the loudest voice replaced the wisest one. You have been taught that truth is relative, that every version is valid, that your emotions can shape reality itself. It sounds empowering, doesn't it? But power built on illusion always collapses, because emotion cannot rewrite what is eternal. The sun will not dim because you prefer the night. Yet many live as if their comfort could change the cosmos. You have been fooled into believing that life is about being right, when in truth it has always been about being real. You were promised freedom, yet chained by comfort. They told you to follow your heart, forgetting that the heart, untamed, can lead even the wise into ruin. They told you to live your truth, forgetting that truth is not created, it is discovered. You were told to chase happiness, not realizing that happiness runs faster the harder you chase it. You have been fooled into believing that the purpose of life is to feel good rather than to be good. And because of this, we have built a generation that confuses pleasure with peace, attention with love, and applause with value. Open your eyes. Look at the systems around you. Education that molds obedience, media that sculpts belief, entertainment that numbs thought, and idols that preach vanity in the name of inspiration. We call it progress, but progress toward what? We have built a world where convenience is God, and reflection is sin. You have been told that the world is at your fingertips, but they never told you that your soul would slip through them. You have been given access to infinite information, but starved of wisdom. You have been fooled into thinking knowledge equals truth, but knowledge without discernment is a sword in the hands of a child. Dangerous, loud, and easily misused. The greatest deception is not out there in politics or markets or media, it is in here, within the heart that refuses to see. Because if the lie comforts you, you will defend it more fiercely than truth ever could. The prison built from lies feels safer than the wilderness of awakening. To open your eyes means to question what you've always known, to lose friends who live in sleep, to tear down idols that once gave you identity. It means walking through the cold valley of disillusionment until your eyes adjust to the light. That's why so many choose blindness. It is easier to pretend the dream is real than to face the morning. You have been fooled into thinking that awakening comes with applause. It doesn't. Awakening comes with loneliness, resistance, and sometimes ridicule. You will be misunderstood, mocked, and even hated for refusing to dance to the tune of deception. But remember, truth has never needed a crowd. It has always walked alone, silent but unshaken. The crowd may call you mad, but better madness in truth than sanity in illusion. You must learn to see again. Not with the eyes of the world, but with the clarity of conscience. Look at how easily men are manipulated when their desires are unpredictable. They buy what they are told to desire, hate whom they are told to despise, and love only what rewards them. You have been fooled into believing you are thinking freely, when in truth, your thoughts are prepackaged long before you think them. Freedom without awareness is just another form of slavery. There was a time when silence was sacred, but now it's feared. People fill every quiet space with noise because silence reveals too much. It shows the cracks in the mask, the emptiness behind the smile. You have been fooled into believing that endless stimulation equals life. But life is not in the glow of a screen. It's in the whisper of thought, the breath of stillness, the courage to look inward. If you cannot sit alone with yourself, you are not free, you are escaping. The eyes of your soul were not made for the flicker of illusions. They were made to perceive eternity. And yet you have let them grow dull by feeding on shadows. You have been fooled into believing that light is everywhere, but much of what shines today is not light, it's glitter. It dazzles, distracts, but it does not illuminate. To truly see, you must unlearn what dazzles you and seek what humbles you. You have been fooled into believing that life is short, so you must hurry. But the truth is, life feels short only when it is wasted. When you live awake, each moment stretches into eternity. Time slows for the soul that truly sees. But to reach that state, you must first walk through the fire of unlearning, the discomfort of awareness, the breaking of illusion. For awakening is not a moment. It is a lifelong peeling away of lies you once called truth. The world will call you strange when you stop playing its game. They will tell you to relax, to go back to sleep, to stop overthinking. But what they call overthinking is often the beginning of awakening. What they call rebellion is often the beginning of freedom. The moment you open your eyes, you threaten the comfort of those who refuse to. That is why awakening is both a gift and a burden. Once you see, you cannot unsee. You have been fooled into believing that progress is measured in speed, wealth, and visibility. But progress without purpose is decay disguised as motion. You can move fast and still be lost. You can have everything and still be empty. You can win the world and lose your soul, and the world will still applaud. That applause is the loudest deception of all. Open your eyes now. The hour is late, but not too late. The illusions have deep roots, but truth grows quietly, persistently, like light under a closed door. And one day, when the door breaks open, those who dare to see will no longer be fools. They will be free. The comfort of deception is more dangerous than the pain of awakening. Humanity has always preferred a soft lie over a sharp truth. The lie wraps itself in warmth, in ease, in reassurance that everything is fine, that nothing needs to change. It whispers, "Rest, you are safe," while the walls close in. The truth, however, does not soothe. It disturbs, it rattles, it breaks the calm facade and reveals the hidden fractures beneath. Yet in this age, where comfort is worshipped like a god, we have chosen the softest chains imaginable. Chains made of pleasure, distraction, and false certainty. We are surrounded by comfort that deceives us into thinking we are alive, while it quietly numbs our spirit. The most dangerous prison is not made of bars, it is made of ease. Every comfort you hold tightly can become a trap. You have been taught to avoid discomfort, to flee from anything that stirs unease, to interpret challenge as threat. Yet, it is the very tension between truth and comfort that shapes the soul. The comfort of deception makes you believe you are growing when in reality, you are only settling. It makes you believe you are thinking deeply, but you are only consuming passively. It convinces you that peace means silence, but sometimes silence is simply the quiet hum of surrender. There is a kind of comfort that kills slowly, one smile at a time, one click at a time, one "it's okay" at a time, until the fire within you no longer burns but flickers faintly beneath the ash of convenience. We have become a generation addicted to comfort, mistaking it for happiness. Our bodies are cushioned, our minds are distracted, our hearts are sedated. We are constantly entertained, constantly connected, constantly numbed. And so, when truth knocks, when a voice, an event, or a moment dares to break the illusion, we panic. We call it negativity, conspiracy, or madness, because the truth hurts more than the fantasy heals. We cannot handle the rawness of reality because we have built our strength around comfort rather than courage. The comfort of deception makes you fragile. The pain of awakening makes you alive. The world will always offer you comfort as a substitute for clarity. It will say, don't question, just trust. Don't think, just follow. Don't feel deeply, just scroll. It knows that once you awaken, you can no longer be controlled. Comfort keeps you compliant. Awakening makes you unpredictable. That is why the systems around you, from advertising to entertainment to politics, feed you soft narratives designed to soothe rather than awaken. They don't want your eyes open, they want your loyalty, your silence, your predictable reactions. And so, we live in an age of gentle slavery, where no one is chained, but everyone is bound. The most tragic thing about deception is how beautiful it feels. It doesn't come dressed in darkness. It wears the perfume of hope, the smile of progress, the glow of belonging. You don't realize you are deceived because the illusion fits so well. It flatters your ego, aligns with your desires, and confirms your beliefs. It's a mirror that never shows you your flaws, and so you love it. You protect it. You even defend it against truth. That is the power of comfortable deception. It turns the victim into its guardian. You begin to fight for the very thing that enslaves you. But pain, real, awakening pain, is a strange kind of mercy. It is the alarm clock of the soul. It shakes you from your dream and demands that you see. Pain does not lie. It strips away what is false and leaves you naked before reality. It humbles, it purifies, it exposes. That's why the awakened are often the wounded, and the deceived are often the smiling. Pain teaches you to value what comfort makes you forget: truth, purpose, and awareness. It's not that pain is good, but that it is real, and reality is the only soil where growth can occur. Comfort has made us weak. We run from anything that threatens our illusion, labeling truth, tellers as troublemakers. We want sermons that soothe, not convict, leaders that entertain, not challenge, friends that flatter, not correct. We call avoidance peace, and numbness contentment. But peace without truth is not peace. It's sedation. A man asleep in a burning house may dream of calm seas, but the flames do not cease because he dreams. Likewise, you may lie comfortably in deception, but the truth remains, waiting patiently for your courage. The comfort of deception tells you that awakening is too costly, too painful, too lonely. And it's true. Awakening costs everything that isn't real. You will lose illusions, habits, relationships, and even parts of yourself that depended on the lie. But what you gain cannot be compared. You gain vision where there was blindness, strength where there was fear, peace that cannot be taken by circumstance. The pain of awakening is temporary. The comfort of deception is eternal sleep. You can measure the depth of a person's truth by the pain they've endured for it. The shallow live in constant comfort because they never venture deep enough to disturb the waters. But those who seek truth must be willing to drown in it for a while, to lose their breath, their bearings, their sense of who they were. Only then can they rise new, with eyes open to the world as it is, not as they wished it to be. Comfort tells you that growth is gentle, that awakening comes softly, that truth will arrive like sunlight through curtains. But truth often enters like a storm. It shatters, uproots, exposes. It does not ask permission. It loves you enough to wound you. And once the storm passes, what remains is stronger, cleaner, truer. Comfort cannot build that. Only pain can. Comfort polishes the surface. Pain reforges the soul. You must decide what you want: to be comfortably deceived or painfully awake. You cannot have both. The one will lull you into a life of quiet decay, where you will smile often but never truly live. The other will tear you apart, and then rebuild you into someone you were always meant to be. The comfort of deception will tell you that everything is fine. The pain of awakening will show you how much more there could be. The danger of deception is not just that it hides the truth. It replaces it. It doesn't tell you, there is no truth. It tells you, this is truth. And because it feels good, you believe it. Comfort doesn't ask you to think. It only asks you to feel good. But the truth demands thought, reflection, and courage. The truth asks you to stand alone when the crowd mocks you. The truth is not convenient. But it is the only foundation that does not crumble when life tests it. You have been fooled into believing that peace is the absence of pain. It is not. True peace is the presence of understanding. The pain of awakening brings that understanding, while comfort hides it beneath layers of pretense. Do not fear the pain that opens your eyes. Fear the comfort that keeps them closed. The pain will pass, but the blindness will remain. One day, when you look back, you will realize that every moment of awakening was born from discomfort. Every truth you hold dearly now was once a wound. Every clarity was once confusion. That is the sacred paradox of growth. The pain you avoid is often the truth you need. The comfort you seek is often the cage you live in. The comfort of deception is beautiful, yes, but beauty is not always good. Sometimes it is the mask that evil wears to look familiar. So, open your eyes. Tear away the illusion that comfort is your friend. Let truth hurt you if it must, for the wound it leaves will heal stronger than the blindness ever did. You were not created for comfort, you were created for meaning. And meaning, my friend, is never found in sleep. Only those who dare to question the light can truly see beyond the shadows. The tragedy of our time is not that darkness exists. It always has. But that we have mistaken imitation light for truth. We have built a world that shines so brightly with artificial brilliance that few remember what real illumination feels like. We are surrounded by voices promising enlightenment, systems claiming wisdom, screens glowing with counterfeit suns. We have been told that to see is to accept what shines before us. Yet sometimes, what glitters is the shadow's disguise. Real sight requires courage. The courage to ask, what if the light I follow is not the truth, but the very thing keeping me from it? The hardest thing to question is not darkness, but light. Because darkness is obvious, it frightens, it repels. But false light comforts. It seduces. It offers clarity without depth, knowledge without humility, and belonging without understanding. The false light promises simplicity where life is complex, applause where silence is sacred, and quick answers where reflection is required. You are told, look no further, the truth is already here. But truth that demands no searching, no struggle, no surrender. Is it truth at all? To question the light is to risk everything you thought you knew. It is to walk away from the familiar glow and step into uncertainty, trusting that what awaits in the shadows may be more real than what dazzled your eyes. Every era has its false lights, movements, ideologies, idols, and influencers who claim to illuminate the world. They speak with conviction, they shine with confidence, and the crowd gathers because light attracts. Yet, not every flame warms, some only burn. Not every glow leads forward, some blind you into circles. To question the light is to notice the warmth of truth against the cold brilliance of deception. It is to realize that wisdom often whispers where falsehood shouts. It is to understand that true illumination never demands worship. It invites awareness. You have been fooled into thinking that questioning is rebellion. But questioning is reverence. It is the mark of a mind that values truth over comfort. Blind faith in false light has birthed generations that follow trends as if they were commandments. People repeat words they do not understand, defend beliefs they never examined, and fight for causes they never questioned. They mistake certainty for truth and conformity for conviction. To question the light is to reclaim your sight. It is to ask, who benefits if I believe this? Who suffers if I don't? It is to see that every illusion depends on your participation. The world loves easy light, light that flatters the ego, light that never reveals the cracks beneath the surface. But real light exposes before it enlightens. It does not make you feel powerful, it makes you humble. It shows you the dust in your soul, the shadows in your intentions, the pride behind your choices. That is why most people turn away. They prefer the warm glow of ignorance to the cold glare of honesty. Yet, only those who stay, who dare to let truth reveal even the ugly parts, can truly see beyond the shadows. To see beyond shadows is not to escape the world, but to perceive it rightly. The awakened eye no longer divides life into convenient halves, good and evil, success and failure, light and dark. It sees that truth weaves through both, that even shadows have meaning when seen from the right angle. But to reach that vision, one must first dare to doubt the false lights that promise perfection. The false light tells you that awakening is easy, that growth is instant, that meaning is found in visibility. But real light tells you that truth is costly, awakening is lonely, and meaning is often silent. The irony is that the false light often uses the language of truth. It speaks of love, peace, and purpose, but empties them of their weight. It promises connection but breeds comparison. It celebrates authenticity but rewards imitation. It praises wisdom but silences depth. You have been fooled into believing that what shines must be true. But even lies can glow if the world wants to believe them. To question the light is to accept that not everything that feels good is right, and not everything that hurts is wrong. The shadows are not your enemy. They are your teachers. They reveal where the light ends and where you must walk by faith, not sight. They remind you that vision without discernment is blindness in disguise. When you question the light, you begin to see the shapes within the darkness, the outlines of something greater than human understanding. That is the beginning of wisdom, to realize that the brightest illusions often cast the deepest shadows. In every soul comes a moment when the light you trusted begins to flicker, when what once guided you now feels hollow, when the voices that once inspired you now echo with emptiness. That moment is sacred. It is not the end of faith, it is the birth of sight. It is the moment when the heart says, "There must be more than this." Most silence that voice, afraid of what it might reveal. But those who listen, who follow that whisper into the unknown, are the ones who see beyond the veil. Questioning the light does not mean rejecting it, it means refining it. It means sifting through the brilliance to find the true flame beneath. It means learning to recognize truth, not by how it shines, but by how it transforms. Real light changes you. It humbles the proud, softens the hard, clarifies the confused. False light inflates the ego and feeds the illusion of superiority. You can tell them apart by their fruit. One frees, the other binds. One enlightens the conscience, the other entertains the mind. Do not fear doubt. Fear blindness that comes dressed as certainty. Doubt is the doorway through which understanding enters. To doubt is not to reject truth. It is to honor it enough to seek it. When you question what the world calls light, you are not rebelling against goodness. You are pursuing purity. For not all brightness is benevolence, and not all darkness is evil. The world's lights shift, flicker, and fade with time, but the eternal truth burns quietly, unshaken by trends. Look around you. So many are dazzled by the temporary glow of fame, wealth, and approval. They think they have found light, but they are only standing in the glare of attention. When that glare fades, they will discover that they were never seen, only watched, that they were never free, only entertained. You have been fooled into believing that to shine is to be seen, but real light is not about being seen. It's about seeing rightly. The call to question the light is not a call to despair, it is a call to depth. To see beyond shadows is to step out of imitation and into essence, out of image and into being. It is to stop asking, "How do I look?" and start asking, "Who am I becoming?" It is to recognize that even truth, when turned into performance, becomes another shadow. The real light cannot be possessed. It must be lived. So, dare to question the light that flatters, the light that demands no change, the light that never makes you uncomfortable. Dare to step into the half-light, where the known ends and the real begins. You may stumble, you may ache, you may lose your way for a while, but in that sacred wandering, your eyes will adjust. And when they do, you will no longer mistake brightness for truth. You will no longer be fooled by the glow of imitation. You will see clearly, perhaps for the first time. Not just the world as it is, but yourself as you are. And that is the beginning of true vision. The moment when the shadows no longer frighten you, because you have learned to see beyond them.